Hey guys, Joe here. Thanks for clicking that button. I'm with old Scooter. We're in the woods today. We're in the southern Ontario Carolinian forest woods. It's the end of January. There's about 2 centimeters of snow on the ground, not much at all. It's going to get down to -9 Celsius tonight, which is 17 Fahrenheit. It's going to warm up during the day. Going to warm up during the day till about -3 Celsius. I've got a backpack on. I got an axe. I'm going to set up a tarp shelter, build a little fire reflector in front, cook some good food, hang out with my buddy Scout. I'm going to set up camp here. This is a nice open location. Tree to tie off to. I'll probably make a tripod on this side. Very big open in front for my fire. Not too much scrub behind to clean away. I have enough room for Scout to be comfortable with me. This will be my home for today. You can see I'm using a wool blanket tonight for warmth along with the fire. I've got it strapped to the bottom of my backpack and I really don't want to just drop that in the snow. So I'm just going to tie it up, clap a little piece of paracord with a bite in it. I got this stick, sturdy stick. Just put it through, and it should hang. Hands free. I really want to get all the snow, debris, leaves, all that stuff away from my camp. My camp is going to have this black soil. As you can see, I've cleared this huge space here. I kicked out all the snow, all the debris, all the leaves. I've got down to this black soil. I'm not worried about having a fire on top of it. I'm going to have a fire all night, all day. I only brought that wool blanket for warmth, like I said, so it's going to get cold, and I have to get close to that fire, so we're going to have a big, long fire. The only pair of extra clothes I have is one extra pair of socks that I'm going to change into tonight before I go to bed. It's okay, bud. So I think I'm going to hold off on making my fire right now. I'm going to build my shelter, do all the work that I have to do, and then sit down and try and dry out my foot or switch out socks regardless. My boot is soaking wet, so I don't think I'll be switching out socks. That'll be a moot point. I want some warm socks to go to bed with. But anyways, I'm going to build a frame for my tarp out of wood, because it's supposed to snow tonight. I'm supposed to get 5 centimeters of snow. That's like an inch or two. So we're going to protect the tarp from sagging in by building a wood frame. Just have to find some wood for that now. This is probably the longest pole I have. It's hard to get straighter poles longer than this, and it won't fit from tree to tree. And I thought that was going to be the problem originally. So I am going to still do it in this spot. I'm just going to build a tripod here as my secondary support. So I'll be tying off to there, make a tripod here. That's why I grabbed so many sticks or logs. So I'll probably build a short tripod using the shortest pieces. One. I'll cut that, and then that one. That should be good. So on this overnight, I've brought my Fall Raven Freeloo 55. It's a little bit overkill, a little bit big for one night, but I do have the dog with me, and I have things in here that I wouldn't normally have, right? So I have my dog's blanket, Scout's blanket, takes up a good 3/4 of the room in there. See how empty it is now? So, anyways, but he needs it. It's too cold for him to be laying on the ground. My tarp. Here. Good boy. Good boy. So I need to mark, I need to cut them all the same length basically, or close to it. I'm just going to mark right here, right there. And that way I know where to cut them. I've got to get myself a chopping block or a chopping log before I move any further. It's just too dangerous to be chopping without one. And I only have a little silky saw. I brought my big axe and my small saw on purpose so that I would use my axe more. That's one. I've got a Jolin on one side. I'm going to loop it through just to get it all secure. Then I'm going to do some wraps and fraps. So I don't want to do it too tight so as to where the legs won't bend out on the tripod when I need to stand it up. I'm going to come in and cross wrap my wraps with my fraps. Fraps are going this way, up and down on the wraps. Oops. There we go. Probably don't need to tie it off, but I will, just to itself. Okay, this will be perfectly fine. Not worried about its strength. Good. So there's another benefit to having this tripod as opposed to tying off to a tree. I don't have to tie my ridgepole onto the tripod. I can just lean it in the crook, and that's especially helpful for when I'm tying up my ridgepole. I don't have to have it held somewhere or trying to hold it up with my shoulder while I'm tying it. I could literally rest it in there and set it up. But this has got to be moved apart a little bit. So I want to be on an angle. I want to be facing that way for the sun, and so that means I have to just move this back a touch. And I want to bring it down chest height. I want my ridgepole to be chest height, so I need to bring it down a little bit. Make sure they're not going to slide. So I'm going to come up from underneath it so that it doesn't want to fall anymore. A few times. I can come up around here and do my fraps just to really secure it in there. And all I'm going to do is tie it off to itself, which is basically a square knot, just an overhand knot. I just want to make sure that all this stuff on the top is pretty cleaned off. I don't want no sharp spots because I'm going to be laying my tarp on here and I don't want to put no holes in it, right? This strip's going to be a little bit of an homage to my first real video that ever got any traction. It was called Overnight Bushcraft Camp, and I shot that video probably about 4 years ago. It says 3 on YouTube, but I think it's wrong. It's got to be 4 years ago because I did Alone 3 years ago. This was before that. So like I said, that was the first video of mine that ever got any kind of traction, and I'm kind of simulating it on this trip a little bit. This will be the same shelter I set up at least, with the same tarp. This tarp I've had for like, I don't know, man. I want to say better part of 6 or 7 years. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to go on a diagonal like an Adirondack wind shelter, which is basically what this is with a frame. Again, the purpose of the frame being strength. We're not going to get too much snow, but it's nice to have it, and it's nice to play around when I have the opportunity. So I think it's going to be to the 3rd tab. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3 tabs. 1, 2, 3 on both sides. I'm going to mark it out, right? That's where it's going to sit. So I just want to notch so I know where to put my poles. I've got my secondary set of poles now, and I'm just lining them up on the notches I made at about a 45-degree angle, so I can see how long I have to cut them. This has to come off right there, and right there. So tying these ones in place, I am going to use my Canadian jam knot. Had a couple small pieces, so it's no big deal. And I think it is my preferred way of doing this, especially when I don't have a lot of room to work with. Scrambled dough, it's super easy, buddy. Super easy, just like this. You got to dress the knot. I think that was your problem. I think you're letting it slack too much. You got to pull it right up close to the other knot. Do as I say, not as I do. It's gonna go. It'll go. There she goes. Anyways, that's how it goes when it cinches up to that knot. That's how the Canadian jam works better, or works properly. So after that, I'm just gonna again lash and tie off. Super easy. So I've got this last piece, and it's got to go at the bottom, on the back, on the bottom. And again, same thing as the top. I'm just gonna lash it on, and then it's not supporting any weight or anything, so it's not a big deal down here. It's just the tarp's going to be wrapped around it. You'll see what I mean here in a second. I've came over the top ridge pole with the tarp. I've tied both sides of the tarp at the third tab on those logs that we laid down, like I was saying. I've come up with this tarp underneath, up and underneath the log. And this bottom part is either going to lay down or get tied up. I'm not sure yet. These side pieces have wrapped around the logs to create the sides. Same here. And all I have to do is really just cinch it down now. Okay, so that's on there. Literally just pull it tight and tie it to the bottom here. I remember getting some criticism last time I made this shelter. And people were, because I had the cover, the top of the tarp tucked down like this, and people were saying, oh, the rain would come down and drip down on there. This guy obviously doesn't know what he's doing. Well, the funny thing is that if it did start to rain, it's super easy to just lift this up. You can even lift it on a diagonal like that, so the rain sheds all the way down. You can lift, peg it down like that. You know what I mean? There's so many options. I'm not really worried about it. But right now, it's not going to rain. This time of year, it's not going to rain. It's going to snow. So I'm fine with either. I can do anything. I can have it up like this, like I said. But what I am going to do is I'm going to build a big old fire in front. Okay? So I am going to tuck this out of the way. And if for some reason it does start to snow, kick the fire back, put it back that way, or not snow, rain, put it back that way, or even not even worry about it, because it would have to rain substantially for this to come in and drip all down in here. I digress. What I think I want to do is tie a piece of paracord to this tab, tie this right down to the wood down there, take this, wrap it over top, and tie it back. The easiest way to do a tie out. You guys are probably getting sick of me showing you this. Nice and easy. There, look at that. So here's the finished product. I'm pretty happy with it, except for one thing. I tied this back part up to get it out of the way, but then I pulled the back part of the tarp up to get some more room, and I don't really get the room because this is blocking it. And I can also use this as part of my ground sheet for Scout. So what I think I'm going to do is undo this and see how that looks. Now it looks a little bit better, but I've lost my room in the back because I let the middle tab go. But now, if I pull it, I should still be gaining some room. I can't tell because I can't look at it and pull it. So I'm going to tie it back. And I'll pull this down tight, peg it down. Yeah, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. Oh. It's 12 o'clock now. I wasted a few hours setting this shelter up and filming. I'm really hungry and I'm getting cold, so I need to make a fire. That's definitely my next thing. I'm gonna bring my axe. I'm gonna search around for some firewood. Get a nice big long fire going in front. Warm up and get some food into me. Ugh. What are you doing? I got this dead piece of sassafras to use to start my fire with. I like using sassafras when I can because it's very abundant here. Has a little bit of oils in it, smells nice, easy to chop through. Move. Leave it, buddy. Leave it. So I'm able to make pretty clean cuts here, even with my axe. Pretty good. Move, Scout. The old plane flying overhead. It wouldn't be a Joe video, right? All I'm doing to make these cuts is I'm lining up the piece of wood on the other piece of wood that I'm working on wherever it sits best. So it'd probably be like right around there, and then I'm aiming right for there. I'm going on a deep angle this way, then I'm cutting down this way. I can get it in either 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3 chops, which is a lot less effort than sawing. The key is to make sure it's lined up on the wood. See the end cut, it's almost flat, so I can use it for batoning. I'm gonna batten this down. Why, you say? Why baton when you have an axe? Because I want to, that's why. Just making sure this is a suitable baton. Don't worry, Scout. Nothing for you. No, leave it. It's not for you. Just make sure I got a suitable baton. Oh my goodness, Scooter Magooter. Okay. No, this is mine. This is for me now. You go lay down. I've got a new toy to play with. This is an Adventure Sworn Tradesman. Never had a knife like this before with the up swoosh the whole way. Pretty beefy, pretty nimble at the same time. It's 1/8 Scandi, tapered down to the end. This is the first real time I'm going to be using it. I took it out couple days ago just to play with it, take some pretty pictures, you know. That's what it's all about. So the sassafras is relatively straight grained. Split it down for quite a ways before it gets too small, and then it'll start to chip out probably. Oh yeah. Away from where I'm sleeping, I only want it to be a foot away. So I need it to be a generous foot, I guess. So I'm gonna kick that away right here. And I'll set my log right there. That way I know how far to keep it, basically. This will be my back log. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line the inside with this dry dead sassafras that I just collected and build my fire up on top of that like a nice big platform. Bring this closer in for now, at least. It's like I said, it's all gonna burn up, but I got all day. After I eat, I'm gonna dedicate the rest of the day to getting firewood. I recently got this heavy cover canteen set. It's got, so this is titanium, it's got a lid that goes on nicely, that's titanium as well. Nice little lid on it. Super pumped to use this. I've been carrying this around town like a weirdo, using the water bottle part of it, but I've yet to use the actual canteen. So I'm going to make up some rice and some bacon for lunch. I'm going to give Scout some bacon and some rice. Then we got a nice big old steak for dinner. I'm absolutely in love with titanium. Just durable, lightweight, freaking awesome stuff. Look at that. Heats up super quick. I've only had that on for as long as it took that little bits of wood to burn down and for me to split that stuff up. That's not long at all. I got this sweet titanium spork with it. The thing is very, very sturdy. There's little wrenches and stuff on it. You can dig with it. The thing is sturdy, man. Anyways, stir up my rice. This canteen is perfect size to fit 500 mils and my rice in. I am going to sit that back near the fire just to keep it going a bit. Just want to get it next to the fire, really. There we go. I brought this little space blanket, and while I'm waiting for my rice to finish cooking, I think that I will string it up on the inside of my tarp here, just on the back, give myself a little bit more warmth tonight, because I'm chilly already, and it's not getting any warmer. I just gathered some wet leaves. These are going to become my buttons. My leaves. And then I grab in the corner, as close to the corner as possible, underneath it, and I just wrap it around. Paracord around it. I tie a double overhand, like I said. Okay. Now, gotta go up here. And again, I'm just tying off to these logs, these super handy logs that I've been able to tie everything off to. It's a nice way to set up the shelter. Time to grill up my bacon. This is some Springer's smoked bacon. And I'll save a few pieces for the morning. It's a piece of wood on fire underneath it. I really don't want to have flame touching that. When the flame hits the bacon, brings out all the salt, makes it taste horrible. Too much flame, that is. Ah! Well, bam. Everything's done. I'm gonna sit down, have some good food, drink some water, take a load off, and then it's time to work. All right. Some nice fluffy rice. A little wet, but that's all right. I'm gonna rip up my bacon and put it inside my rice. Little bonuses, I like doing that. I'm gonna give Scout some rice. I'll start him off with this piece of bacon. Come here, bud. Come in frame so everybody can see. Take it nice. Be good boys. Oh yeah, it's a big boy. Good boy. So I'm gonna eat some of this, and I'll give him the rest in my cup here, because I didn't bring an extra bowl for him this time. So I'll just boil up some water after to get his nasty dog breath out of it. There is a creek running through right over there where he's going to drink water from, where I'll have to end up getting water from later on because there's not enough snow on the ground. Bacon rice. I'm sure glad to have that space blanket above there. It's gonna be loud though tonight when the wind comes through. It's another thing about titanium, man. Stuff that's in there that's cold stays real cold. Stuff that's in there that's hot keeps hot for a while. This frickin' spork is still hot. Woo! Alright, buddy. He can't wait. Get out of there. Just put some on the lid for him for now, while he's sitting here begging me. Man, there's another plane coming through. It's a bit hot, man. You might want to wait a little touch. Good boy. I'm super impressed with this friggin' heavy cover canteen thing. I'm gonna put a link in the description below. Just click it, check it out, man. This stuff is, I'm really enjoying using it. It's like its own set, you know, its own system, and it's capable, definitely. Boy. He cracks me up, man. All right, firewood time. This is a super dense piece of wood. This is ironwood, and it'll make great firewood for tonight. Lots of BTUs. It's just gonna be really dense, really tough to chop through. Go on. Leave it! Scout. Man. Remember how I said I have so much fun with him here? A lot more fun with the dog here. Oh my god, it works both ways. So he's obsessed with sticks. He used to throw sticks for him all the time. A tree falling is the ultimate stick throw, and he always wants to go underneath it. Thank God he didn't on that one. That would have been bad. And he's running around now crying and trying to bite at sticks, but he's fine. He's totally fine. He's just a little OCD dog, you know? OCD dog Scout. Move. Go lay down. Okay, I'm gonna make a fire reflector now. I've collected a bunch of wood already. I just gotta build it. So basically, I need to make some points on these sticks. Watch out, buddy. That shouldn't be too difficult. That's some dense hickory. So I'm putting the first pegs, first stakes, I don't know, roughly 6 inches away from the back log. Okay, pretty accurate with that axe, eh? Pretty axe-curate. I want to get a quick gauge of how wide it needs to be by putting one of the thicker logs, wider logs down, and then measuring from there. So I can put this relatively tight up to that, maybe leave a little bit of a gap. Nothing like a little bit of work to warm you up, man. Seriously. Why don't you go lay on your bed, buddy? Why don't you go lay on your bed? Oh, the big boy. Oh, he's a big Scooty Magoots. You're laying in the mud, bud. Laying in the mud. That was the original back piece that I had on hours ago, so that's not so bad. I still gotta put some more wood on my fire reflector. It's finally starting to snow. I don't know if you can see it yet behind me, but she's coming down. It seems like it's gonna get heavier and heavier. And I am relying on a fire tonight for warmth. I got smoke in my eyes. So I have to get so much firewood, it's not even funny. It's 3 o'clock now. I have roughly 3 hours of light. eyeballs. I still need more firewood too. I'm taking a break here for a minute before I go collect more firewood. I thought I'd quickly go through my gear that I brought on this trip. You've seen me use most all of it already. So my axe is my grandma's old axe, rehandled, 2.5 pound head on a 26-inch handle. Super big swell at the pommel, or the butt, I guess. My favorite axe. I've got my possibles pouch, first aid, headlamp, toilet paper, chapstick, some snare wire, just normal stuff in there. Oh, and my batteries for my DSLR and my action camera. A little sil nylon chair if I wanted to make it. Got my sit pad. My Hestra gloves, my Hestra fall line gloves. I brought a big old steak. This is a bone-in prime rib, 2.32 pounds, so 2.5 pounds. But it's gonna feed Scout and myself, so it's okay. I've got a water bottle with my logo sticker on it. I just actually opened a website, joerobinet.com. I'm selling stickers on there and patches. The patches, I've only got black and gray right now, but I will have the original colors in very soon. I'll ship anywhere. So, joerobinet.com to find that stuff. I've got, to go with my steak, I've got a Cruiser all day pale ale. Very, very, very good beer. One of my favorites. For water and all that, water, cooking, storage, collection, my heavy cover canteen set, man. I'm freaking loving this thing. The canteen part's up, hanging up on the top. My knife, again, is my Adventure Sworn Tradesman. Really digging this knife too. I got a fire steel on there. I got a sleeping pad, which is my Thermarest Neo Air X-Therm. I've got a wool blanket. It's an Italian Army wool blanket. I've got Scouts, I think it's a polyester blanket back there. What else? Some bacon, some paracord, an extra layer to put on, my thin Primloft layer to put on, some food, my backpack, my Fall Raven Freeloo 55. I think that about covers it. It's really not that much stuff. It took up that whole backpack though, but like I was saying, Scout's blanket took up a lot of it. And if I was using a sleeping bag, I could squish the sleeping bag real small and then put that inside the backpack and then strap Scout's blanket to the outside. But as it was, I had 2 blankets just because I wanted to. I wanted to sleep by the fire. It was the whole point for this trip. So. So many planes. Alright, that should do it. I'm going to put my steak up here now and let it slow cook because it's very big and I don't want to burn the outside and have too raw inside. Piece de resistance. This steak, this steak is very big and going to be very good. You ready for this? Are you ready for this? Bam, son. So yeah, and the bone runs here. We'll let Scout have some of that for sure. That's a big steak. Steak spice is always Montreal steak spice. I'm gonna rub a lot into here. I'm gonna flip it around real quick before the other side gets cooked at all, just to rub it in on that side too. Oh yeah. Oh, she's saucing up. Oh, that's a nice steak. This is so tender. This is ridiculously soft. Oh, bam, son. I'm really liking this cooking platform setup too. I can easily adjust it to wherever the flames are, spread it out, make it skinnier, up here, anywhere. Ah! Where are my gloves? Where are my gloves? Yeah, super useful, man. Well, I'm almost satisfied with my wood pile. I've got a lot more, and a lot of them are big. Like this one's pretty substantial, and it's long too. I can get maybe 2 or 3 lengths out of that one, and this one, and this one. And then I've got all these ones here that I've already bucked up into long pieces. It's all hardwood. It's all good, solid hardwood. I just probably need to get a little bit more, to be honest. Oh yeah, he's getting cooked. Okay, I'm playing around, man. That steak's just about done. Looking forward to it. Alright, I'm calling her done. Look at that color. It's almost like smoked. It was smoked being up there too. Oh, buddy. Fancy. Oh, it's cooked. It's cooked for longer than more done than I thought. Still not bad. I would prefer a little bit more rare. That's okay. So, this piece is very big and has the bone on it and a ton of meat. So the bone stops there, and this is all meat. We're gonna give this to Mr. Scooter. We're just gonna wait a minute because it's super hot. Man, look at this. Oh, the fat in there. Real deal fat. Look at that. Okay, buddy. There's your piece right there, big guy. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Hey, there's some bone in there, bud. Some bone in there. You gotta be careful. Do I have a black eye? I hit myself in the face with a stick earlier on accident. Anyways, it's more cooked than I would normally like, but it's still super tender. Like, oh man. I've been waiting all day for this. No head. Cheers, guys. grapefruity. All right, here's a fat. There's that whole fat part. Mmm. Oh man, it's been a long time coming. Let's go mowing down that bone. This is why I come out here, guys. This kind of stuff. These moments. It's 6 o'clock. I'm losing light. That's why it's looking a little bit grainy now. Let's go. Let's see what you did to that bone. Give me that thing. Gnawed it down pretty good. Here's some meat, bud. Good boy. Big old hunk of meat. I'll probably end up giving them a little bit more too. I got still quite a bit left, and I'm pretty full now. But that's alright. Scout will continue to eat, and so will I. Is that good? Well, I guess it's not going to snow. It started there for like an hour, but nothing even accumulated. Whatever. I was hoping it would have looked better on video, but it is what it is. I can't control that. Oh, that steak was good, guys. I still got quite a bit left. I'm feeding it to Scout slowly, periodically through the night now. Just gnawing away there. I'm having a good time, man. I didn't stop until just now. I didn't stop until I ate this steak. I still haven't even dealt with my foot. I've been warm. I've been going like crazy. And now sitting in here, I'm super warm. But now that I've got this tripod above the fire, I can dry out my sock and potentially my boot tonight. Oh, she's wet. All pruny feet. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to probably build a little footrest in front so I can set my feet on there, get them warm. But I am going to hang my my sock over top of the fire. I probably hang both of them. You know what? I probably sweated enough in the other one to get it wet too. Not half as wet as that one, but might as well. If I'm doing one, I'll do both. Well, I think it's time for a little brew, yeah? A little cuppa. Really like the way this canteen is shaped. I found it extremely hard to knock it over. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a tall, narrow thing. It's a short, fat base. Pretty sturdy. You know? Pretty sturdy. So I'm shopping with the wife the other day, right? And I know that's the first problem. But we go into the mall and they have this place called David's Tea. I don't know if you guys in the States have David's Tea. I'm sure some of my Canadian viewers will know what I'm talking about. And they're like, oh, fancy, healthy tea. I said, well, it's probably good to drink something other than alcohol while I'm camping. So I'll drink some tea. So I bought some, I can't remember the name of it. Maybe I'll put it at the bottom. But they gave us these fancy tea bags too. These ones you fill in yourself, right? So I'm like, I'm no peasant over here, you guys. You know, this isn't a peasant life. Sitting on the ground, getting your own tea bags. So my wife used to sell steeped tea, and she had these fancy little scoopers. So I get 1 teaspoon, or 1 scoop, right, per cup. Put it in my fancy little tea bag. Do one of these. Do one of these. Yoink. And now, as opposed to a tea ball, it's not going to get all this shake in my tea, potentially. Let's see how it goes. Tea bag. Virgin run of the tea bag. Because that, doing this, makes all the difference. Sometimes you can do it fancy. Whoop. And I'm not even the slightest bit tipsy. Just regular Joe. It's been steeping for about 2 minutes. Probably take it out now. Oh, she's toasty. That's what boiling water feels like, Joe. So Scout ate that bone up. That's all that's left. Nice and clean. Like a good boy. That's going in the fire. He doesn't want it anymore. He left it over there. I just don't want to attract any animals. My tea. My tea's pretty good. It's black, I think. Black tea. It's good. I told her I wanted something as natural as possible, and she gave me like some licorice stuff at first. Yeah, right. Oh, that's perfect. These socks are all but dry. Another couple minutes on there. I think I am gonna put my boot up there. At least this really wet one. I'm just gonna stick it right on the end of the tripod. Let it sit for a while. This fire's hot enough where I can just keep my little feetsies near it, and I'm gonna stay warm. It's starting to snow again too, so we'll see. Well, it's 8:30 now. I think it's about time for some scotch. This is the last of my leg fooling. I put it in my chest pocket now. I've learned my lesson. Cold scotch is no good. You need it warm. Room temperature scotch. Cheers, guys. Yep, I've been barefoot long enough. They feel dry. Feel very warm too. Oh yeah. Oh, that feels great. Like a million times better than getting something out of the dryer and putting it on a cold day. 1,000,000 times better. Oh yeah. Nice. Okay. Feeling like a human again. Feeling like a human being again. A little celebratory scotch. Dry feet. This long fire's kicking off a ton of heat now. I'm nice and toasty in here. Very comfortable. It's actually quite roomy in here. I really would have no problem putting a plastic sheet down in the front of this and building a super shelter. You know what time it is? Roasted marshmallow time. I'll make a mean roasted marshmallow, guys. I'll tell you, I'm an awesome cook. I do make a good roasted marshmallow. The key is all coals, all embers, no flame. You gotta let it get lightly brown, lightly golden. Whoa, things are popping. My frozen marshmallows. We're gonna do one at a time and savor it. Savor it real good. You can see it expanding. Marshmallow cooking tips. Oh, I passed. Marshmallow cooking tips with Joe. Oh god. Now I decked her right at the end there, boys. But anyways, she's nice and good. A little charred on the outside. Not too bad. On point, son. I shouldn't be this excited over marshmallows. I'm just burning the pieces long so I don't have to cut them. I don't want to cut them at night here with my axe, and it's too small to use my silky. So I'll burn them and I'll push them in farther as I need to. Well, it's starting to snow now, quite a bit actually. It's really coming down. So we'll see the accumulation. I'm stoked. I'm glad. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to get any of that snow, but here it is. It's time is it? Woo! Almost 11 o'clock at night here. I don't even feel that tired, to be honest with you. Normally I'm in bed by about 10 o'clock when I'm camping. Man, it's coming down. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Gonna get in my sleep system and ride out this snow. I'm sure I'll get up in about an hour or two to stoke this fire. I'll check in then. Until then, check you later, check you later. What's that from? 90s? 90s movie trivia. Check you later, check you later. This will be a tougher one. Still though, a very popular movie. Check you later. 1 a.m., the first stoking of the fire. I've pulled this little flap down in front because it's snowing pretty good and I'm getting some snow in. So this this front flap I've pulled down. I actually might tie it up. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna tie it up to my tripod right now. There. Now I got a little bit of protection from above, and it should trap more heat, circle it down into me. It's snowing like a mug out here. So this is happening now. Freaking fire reflector on fire. Tried to use as punky wood as I could. Punky soaking wet wood from the ground. But after that hot of a fire for that many hours, things just dry out and burn. So got rid of that tripod right above it. I'm gonna let that fire reflector burn down. There's nothing I can do now. I'm freaking toasty in there. Too warm. I had to move my my tarp back out of the way too because it was too hot. So back to bed, guys. This is gonna be a restless sleep. Look at how bright it looks. How bright it looks above me. It's not. It's the middle of the night. I don't know if it's a camera or the city glow, but it sure looks bright. That's your legit self-feeding fire. None of this fancy ass nonsense. Build a fire reflector, let it burn down, falls into the fire. Great success. Well, I laid here waiting for that to happen. I was paranoid of it happening while I was sleeping. I did put a log here right in front of me to stop anything that rolled my way, but it's not going to even do that. It's 5 a.m. I got a few hours sleep. My fire is no more. I can still see embers, so I'm going to get up and throw some wood on there and get back to bed because I'm exhausted and it is still snowing. Good morning, folks. It's 7:30. I stayed warm. I stayed very warm. I didn't get much sleep though. Probably 4.5 hours total, maybe 5 hours broken up. It's not so bad really if you think about it. I had a good night. It was fun. There's a lot of snow and I stayed nice and warm and dry under here. So the old lean-to, for the naysayers of the lean-to, this is proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the freshly fallen snow. Trick is to pile them all together pretty close actually. You don't need too much airflow with this kind of thing and blow the crap out of it. In this case, I'm going to fan it with my my sit pad. Or not. That's not so bad. The nice thing about the accumulation is there's some wetness, some actual water in here, some ice, some slush, so it'll be quicker than melting snow and it'll be quicker than hiking down to the creek. I've decided against making bacon this morning. Yesterday my stomach got all messed up from it. I haven't eaten bacon in a long time and my IBS just really doesn't do too well with it. So instead of pushing it and doing it 2 days in a row, I'm just going to have my oatmeal today. I poured my boiling water back into the canteen. That way I could add the right amount of water without getting too much water in it at once. But it looked like I did the right amount of water anyway. That's on point. Look at this consistency. No soupy oatmeal for me. You gotta have that tacky, stick to your ribs stuff. I think this is gonna be it. I've got like maybe 30 seconds left on my card. I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a good time. I actually came out here to try to make a decent video for you guys, so I hope it turns out okay. I have nothing left to do here. I'm just gonna tear down camp. I'm gonna throw the fire reflector through the woods, what's left of it, and hike my butt out of here. I'll be going on a big winter trip soon, multiple days, maybe with Scout, probably by myself. So look out for that. That'll be up soon. I'm sure you guys will enjoy that. And check out joerobinet.com for stickers and patches now. I just dropped that website, guys, so you've been asking for stickers and patches. There they are. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a really good time. We'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.